Good morning. Welcome to episode 33 of Wake Up West Orange. It's good to have Tim and Angie back on set, and we're ready to have a Christmas edition of Wake Up, even though we've talked some about Christmas in some previous ones. And we did not plan this, but we just noticed it as we all got here. I guess we could call this the Ashley Wells studio or something, but we're going to dedicate this studio to you, Ashley. But we are all dressed
Christmassy.
Christmassy.
I don't even know if that's the right word. Plaid, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Christmas.
It's very Christmassy.
I think it's a Christmas show.
We did not coordinate. There were no emails. Hey, wear this week.
As much as Die Hard is a Christmas movie, this is a Christmas show.
Yeah, and maybe even a little more than that.
I don't think it is, but whatever. It can't be, but whatever.
Yeah. So
Corey,
after,
John, I know y'all disagree. I don't care.
Yeah. So after 33 episodes, we finally coordinated without coordinating. So, Anyway, so I've got some Christmas one-liner jokes.
Great.
And, so get ready to laugh. Make sure you're not drinking your morning beverage as these are being read, because you might accidentally spit it out with so much of a reaction. So question one, where does Santa's reindeer stop for coffee? You may be thinking,
coffee.
I didn't even know reindeer drink coffee.
Coffee. That makes sense. No, I mean, our dog drinks coffee, so...
Wait, what?
I'll tell you in a minute.
Your dog
we'll come back
drinks
to that.
coffee?
Not like... We'll come back.
How do you come back to that? Just tell them.
No. We got to fit... But they're waiting. The anticipation is killing me.
Starbucks, okay?
Gotcha.
All right, now where do you... Before I go to these things, tell us about your dog.
Not so much like, here's your coffee, but like, if Kayla specifically... Because I drink like espressos, they're gone in 3 seconds. There's no like getting my coffee. But Kayla drinks, 15, 16 ounces of coffee. And if she leaves her cup, she sits on the couch. There's a table. If she happens to set her cup down and leaves, like walks away, the dog will run to her and like drink her coffee.
That's great.
Yeah.
And how much of a reaction does that dog have for the rest of the day?
Oh, she's hyper anyway. There's no change in the way she operates, but that's what I'm saying.
Cool.
It's I don't know if you call it. I think it's probably really not good for her, but
right, yeah.
But she's like, it's perfect. It makes perfect sense because she's basically a teenager right now. Our dog. That's about the age.
Okay.
She's got attitude. She's always looking at us like we're crazy, and she wants coffee and doesn't need it.
Yeah.
So she's anyway. We're done.
All right.
That's it. You're welcome.
An insight into the Duncan household.
Right. That's as much as you get.
All right. What is Santa's favorite kind of candy? Jolly Ranchers. Jolly old Saint.
I might have figured that one out if you'd given me about. Go ahead.
I was thinking candy canes.
We're on a time crunch here.
Candy canes.
Yeah,
right.
Candy canes. Maybe that too.
All
right. This is the best one,
yeah.
especially with 2020 here. So you can use this one. It's not copyrighted, I don't think.
Good.
Okay. How do the elves clean Santa's sleigh on the day after Christmas?
How?
Okay. They use Santa-tizer.
Okay.
Santa-tizer.
That's
there.
good. That's good. That was
All
the
right.
spit take for everybody right there.
Yes, that's right.
That was
That's
the
right.
one.
No, I think the coffee drinking dog was.
Well, maybe.
Okay, as we all think about our families and, this time of year and different traditions, we've talked a little bit about this in previous episodes, but do you have any kind of weird traditions? I mean, we all have traditions that we do typically, but do you have any weird traditions that you do? I don't think any that my family does are weird, but maybe that's just because they're normal to me. But can you think of anything?
I mean, we grew up watching It's a Wonderful Life Christmas Eve. And, and that's, again, I've already said this once, so I really don't want to make it a thing. I'm afraid it already is. But It's a Wonderful Life is not a Christmas movie. There's Christmas involved in it. I think it kind of happens near Christmas or whatever at some point. But I think that just my dad loved that movie. And I've grown to love it as well for many different reasons, some sentimental and some just because I like the movie. But we don't still do that in our own home. We didn't continue that tradition per se, but I often think of that movie and find myself watching. Now it's easy to access it. It's probably on Netflix or something. I don't know if we're supposed to say that, but anyway, they're not a sponsor. But Yeah, not really. I know families. Y'all, I don't know if y'all have these. Some grow up and like you can open a present on Christmas Eve, but then you got to open, wait. And
Yeah.
we had a hard rule on that one. It's like, no, you can't. Like after we had moved, after my dad had passed away, we sold that home and we found some presents hidden that Mom had forgotten about or whatever when we were kids. And one of them was a box I found, and I opened it, and it had a card in it that said, "Timothy Duncan, if you've opened this box, Santa's not coming." Or something like that.
No.
Something like that. She was pretty hardcore about not getting the presents. So
Well, if
yeah.
you had to have a note written, there must have been a reason for that.
Oh, I always opened them and put them back together.
Oh no, that takes all the
So
fun
she started
away.
wrapping, like triple wrapping them and stuff, so I couldn't. I was horrible.
Tim was going to get in the present.
Yeah, I knew.
No.
Great. What about you, Angie?
We didn't do anything like that. We would watch, some of the old, like, claymation movies. We would always make sure we were in bed early on Christmas Eve. We would go to my nanny's house, and we were in bed right after we got home.
Mm-hmm.
And, no, that was it. And then you woke up and you had presents. And now, with Brett's family, we watch... couple of things.
Let me guess. The Poseidon Adventure. No.
No.
Okay.
No, they like to watch the Griswold Christmas Vacation.
Oh yeah.
I mean, just
That's a classic.
yeah.
That's a Christmas movie.
It is a Christmas movie. It's not necessarily my favorite. I'm in the minority, I guess, but no, I like the feel good ones, and that one is it's just funny.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but that's the weirdest thing we do on Christmas.
Gotcha.
What about you?
Yeah, nothing really weird. I mean, there's certain movies that I'll watch, and with our kids, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer is one, and so I want to actually read the backstory to that, and we can talk a little bit more about this. And I was sharing this with Tim and Angie ahead of time, and Tim, you were familiar. Angie, you were not familiar with this,
No.
so maybe some of our viewers who are very informed people like Angie, very knowledgeable. Still, there's something new to learn regarding Christmas, and here it is with Rudolph. So, as the holiday season of 1938 came to Chicago, Bob May wasn't feeling much comfort or joy. A 34-year-old ad writer for Montgomery Ward, May was exhausted and nearly broke. His wife Evelyn was bedridden on the losing end of a 2-year battle with cancer. This left Bob to look after their 4-year-old daughter, Barbara. One night, Barbara asked her father, "Why isn't my mommy like everybody else's mommy?" As he struggled to answer his daughter's question, Bob remembered the pain of his own childhood. A small, sickly boy, he was constantly picked on and called names, but he wanted to give his daughter hope and show her that being different was nothing to be ashamed of. More than that, he wanted her to know that he loved her and would always take care of her. So he began to spin a tale about a reindeer with a bright red nose who found a special place on Santa's team. Barbara loved the story so much she made her father tell it every night before bedtime. As he did, it grew more elaborate. Because he couldn't afford to buy his daughter a gift for Christmas, Bob decided to turn the story into a homemade picture book. In early December, Bob's wife died. Though he was heartbroken, he kept working on the book for his daughter. A few days before Christmas, he reluctantly attended a company party at Montgomery Ward. His co-workers encouraged him to share the story he had written. After he read it, there was a standing ovation. Everyone wanted copies of their own. Montgomery Ward bought the rights to the book from their debt-ridden employee. Over the next 6 years, at Christmas, they gave away 6 million copies of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer to shoppers. Every major publishing house in the country was making offers to obtain the book. In an incredible display of goodwill, the head of the department store returned all rights to Bob May. 4 years later, Rudolph had made him into a millionaire. Finally, now remarried with a growing family, May felt blessed by his good fortune, but there was more to come. His brother-in-law, a successful songwriter named Johnny Marks, set the uplifting story to music. The song was pitched to artists from Bing Crosby on down. They all passed. Finally, Marks approached Gene Autry. The Cowboy star had scored a holiday hit with Here Comes Santa Claus a few years before. Like the others, Autry wasn't impressed with the song about the misfit reindeer. Marks begged him to give it a second listen. Autry played it for his wife, Ina. She was so touched by the line they wouldn't let poor Rudolph play in any reindeer games that she insisted her husband record the tune. Within a few years, it had become the second best-selling Christmas song ever, right behind White Christmas. Since then, Rudolph has come to life in TV specials, cartoons, movies, toys, games, coloring books, greeting cards, and even a Ringling Brothers circus act. So there we go. Very a story that's now kind of immortalized, and it's been around now for about 80 years, and I think there's a lot we could talk about it. But what are some of both of your thoughts on it?
Wow, there's so much with it. I think one of the most amazing things for me is that Montgomery Ward said, "Here, you can have the rights back."
Mm-hmm.
That just is unheard of. I maybe just because I live with Brett and I talk with him about business things, and that is just such an amazing thing. We don't expect to see generosity come from corporations.
Yeah, for our younger listeners, Montgomery Ward would have been like today's equivalent of Target, or maybe Neiman Marcus, maybe bigger. Yeah, or Target. I mean Amazon or something. Yeah, a known name. That was one of like the places back then. So yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if they're still around. They probably became something else.
I don't think that they are. They don't have any department
Somebody
store
call in and
locations.
tell
I don't
us.
think.
Yeah. That I don't know. A lot of things come to mind for me. You hear stories like that about the aspect of being mistreated or whatever, bullied or made fun of. Those kind of things kick in for various people, and then yes, the corporation, the business side of it all, that just doesn't happen much. And overcoming the hardships of I want this story to be out there, and it was hard to make that happen, and all of a sudden I would think it's beyond America for sure. I mean it's got to be a worldwide known thing. So
Well, it's one of those stories. I mean, as soon as you hear Rudolph, I mean, you just kind of
exactly.
know the tune,
Yeah,
you
everybody
sing
knows
along,
that.
and the fact that the backstory to that is was really tragedy, and I think as we contemplate tragedies in our modern time, that a lot of times out of those tragedies, some beautiful, meaningful things happen, and the fact that while his wife is dying and he can't really do much for his daughter, that this story that was so relevant and inspiring happened. So
it puts a lot of things in perspective too, like our lives right now. This morning I was frustrated because the hot water took too long to come on for my shower, but I have hot water, or I have a house, or our problems can be so immature, I guess, sometimes, and they're real. Everybody's problems are different, but things that we really think are going to ruin our day or whatever are just so minuscule compared to what really is important.
Yeah.
So,
well, I think too with this story, this resonates with all. I mean, who has not at some point, if not in their adulthood, definitely in their childhood, experienced being made fun of for something? I mean, I've heard my dad talk about, he had a real slender head and really large ears. When he had like that buzz haircut, his ears, he was made fun of, for his ears. And but all of us, for whether it's for a trait, or something that people make fun of us, and so I think for that it's relatable. You deal with elementary kids, that's when that stuff kind of starts happening.
It is, and you'll see those kids that would historically tend to be excluded. We're doing a lot right now to try to get everybody included, and I just last week had a workshop during one of my planning periods on, okay, what do we do to get all these kids together? And so
watch Rudolph.
You could, and that's a very great non-example, but well, because they left him
it
out.
sounds
It
like
was
an
mean.
anti-compliment.
Yeah. This is what you don't do.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. No, but
I think it's a good example.
It turned out really good in the end. But no, it's a neat time when it comes to that. I think another really cool thing here is, when you look at the actual story of Rudolph that he wrote, you've got this foggy night and it doesn't look like Santa's going to make it. But then Rudolph steps up and says yes when Santa asks him, and
becomes the hero.
Yes, and so I think that when you look at those situations it kind of goes back to what we were talking about on Sunday. There are those situations that seem impossible.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But they're not. There's always going to be a way. And in this cartoon it was Rudolph, but we know that God picks unlikely people to fulfill his vision.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Very good. So
I can't add to that.
Yeah. Come on, Tim.
I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm all tapped out.
Well, again, it's just one of those. It's a good, inspiring story that relates to kids, but I think for adults as well. So anyway, if you didn't know that story, you know it now, and when you hear the song here over the next couple of days, Christmas 2 days away. Just a reminder: tomorrow, December 24th, Christmas Eve, 5:30 here on our campus. New Horizons is hosting a fireside service at 5:30. Obviously outdoors. Bring your lawn chairs. I know some of our families, we plan to be here for that and enjoy it. And if you can make it, then do that. But either way, we wish you a Merry Christmas. And until next time, we wish you a great day.
Bye.